Hello and welcome to the new Power BI dashboard tutorial where I will show you how you can create this Superstore sales performance dashboard, which is a very good example of a business dashboard that you can create it using the inbuilt Power BI functionality. And this dashboard is basically, I'm having an inspiration from Pradeep Kumar, whose dashboard is over here, as you can see, similar dashboard, but it is created in Tableau. So it has a lot of different information about, first of all, over here, it's an area chart that is being used, and then some buttons for the filters, and then sales by state, the top 4 or top 5 states, and they are basically YOY. Similarly, over here, you have region, sales by region, and then sales of the region and the comparison with the previous year as a YOY figure. And over here is also you have the area chart where highlighted by the maximum value and the minimum value, right? Similarly, down below you have the sales categories like this, where you have the YOY value, you have the bar chart to represent the actual sales and the contribution, and then you have the sales trend by the category. Down below then you have the sales by subcategory, where you have sort of a heat map for this product subcategories, and then the actual sales value. Then finally what you have is the sales by segment, and over here you have the consumer, corporate, home office segment, the values and the information about each of these chart, and then the value like 1.2 million, and what is a contribution percentage. Same over here, top manufacturer, these are all top 10 manufacturer, right? So we will see how we can create all of these metrics within Power BI and create a similar type of experience. Not exactly similar, but at least we will try to make the best out of it and create a stunning looking dashboard like this. And by the way, this is one of the most viewed dashboard, I think in top 3 or top 5 dashboard, which has been most viewed on the public Tableau over here. And I will give the link in the description. Also, you can explore more scenarios by going to the Pradeep's profile, where he has created really some amazing examples, which you can, if you recreate it, then you will be able to learn a lot of different technologies or a lot of different tips and tricks, I would say, within the technology like Power BI or Tableau. So similar I have created in a Tableau, and the link I will give that tutorial also in description, like how you can create the same dashboard in Tableau. And today we are trying this in the Power BI. So let's get started. Before we move ahead, just a quick information about this Google Sheet where I keep all of my videos, and you can see I am on this row of 301, so close to 290 plus videos I have it over here. And you can see the title of these videos over here in column A, and the link is present in column B. So with the help of this, you can easily search all of my videos, and for that this also link is present in description. Now let's switch to the Power BI. Alright, so here we are within the Power BI, and we can see this dashboard, the similar type like I said, if not the exact replica, because Tableau has some inbuilt functionalities, Power BI has some different functionalities. But the whole idea is this, how we can create a dashboard which has a similar look and feel, right? So first thing first is about, if you see, one of the very important thing about this dashboard is a color theme. We have used only one color, and the color code for this is this one. If you can see it, let me just increase it a little bit. 54C1C2. This is the color code which is being used over here in this dashboard. Okay, so I'm zooming out. So this dashboard, we will create it step by step. So what I'll do is I will just create a new page, and data source is present. The link is present. Link is also present in the description for dataset, which will take you to all the data sets which I am having. There you will find the sample superstore dataset to work with, right? So pick the sample superstore dataset or the sales dataset and start creating it with me. Okay, so once we have this, first thing first is about this first chart, which is the area chart, and how we are getting this is also something I will tell you. Alright, so what do we have is the visualization. In visualization, what do I have is the area chart. In the area chart, what I can do is I can expand this, right? and move it up a little bit, and maybe move this towards here a little bit. Okay, so in this data set you will find, since I have created a lot of these things, what I'll do is I will just tell you everything from the scratch. So we have sales, yeah, that we want to show on y-axis. On the y-axis, that makes sense, yes. And then what do we have is basically the order date. Now if you see, for order calendar, I have created a new calendar. Calendar is based on the function of new table. So over here, if you see the table view, right? So table view is where we have this table which we have imported, or which you have imported by now, which has the order information, customer information, and product information all together. And then we have one more table, this order calendar, right? Which is nothing but, when you click on this new table, it will open up a window, formula bar, where you specify the table name, which is order calendar, right? And then using the calendar function, within that you specify the minimum of order date, that means the first order date, and maximum of order date, which will be the last one. So that way, whenever any new row is added, let's say tomorrow, this table will always be up to date with the minimum order date and maximum order date, right? So then you will have the date field, and from the date field I have created year field by just using this formula, year order calendar date dot year. So you can create it as a separate field. Also it allows you to create it as a date part, because this is, if you see, dot year is nothing but its date part. So over here, right, once you have created this order calendar, then what we can do is we can specify the date hierarchy, let's say, right? And so that's how we get it. If you remove the day from here, this is how you basically going to get it. But looks like in my case, I have chosen the only the 2022 over here. That's why it looks like little bit smooth as compared to this multiple shapes over here, up and down. So I will do a couple of formatting for this. So for that I will go over here, just make sure that this chart is selected, and then if you see, all the options are now present. Now for the from the x-axis I will remove it, x-axis, right? And even same with the y-axis, I will remove value and title, right? And then I will make sure the color is same, right? So under the lines we have color, and color I will choose this color 54C1C2, right? I will choose this. Even for the shade area I will make it 0 transparent, so it will be same. Got it? So that's how we can get it. And finally, we don't need this title, so again make sure this is selected, and then in general, under this format your visual general, you have effect, sorry, not effect, but the title. Once the title is gone, you can see the information up there. So that way we have our first chart, which is the area chart over here, right? So if you go to the page 1, this is the area chart, and then this one is the text box. So if you see over here, I have this text box. So I will choose this text box, and I will say Superstore Sales Performance Dashboard, right? I'll make it a little bit big, maybe 32, not 32, I think a little bit. This is center, and within center, then we can move this up, right? Only up till that point we don't get a scroll bar. And in the effects, the background color 54C1C2, and the text we will make it white, right? And then we will move this up so much that it basically mimics it basically in consistency with the edges of this. So now we will just do a couple of more things. I'll just select that so this is fine, properties, in the effect, and I think everything else is fine, header icon, title is fine, and I think even the properties and padding. So padding, let's make it what, 0, 0, 0. This is like an extra space which the dashboard get, and now you see mostly it's in line with this. The only thing is, if it is not in line, the way you can do that is you can select this component, right, and in the properties, the width, you can reduce it, let's say. So this is couple of times we have to do, and just once it is done and as per our expectation, we can basically move ahead. So bit of a designing, as you can see, it's going on. So the only thing which I don't like about this is that it does not allow you to select properly. You go into the edit mode because the way it has done the selection. So position 23, and that's why I try to work with the properties. Over here, properties, position, horizontal, not this much, yeah, because it does not allow you to select, so we have to work with it. Now if you see, it's much more in alignment. Okay, so once we are done with this, then our next task is creating a slicer like this, right, and then showing the sales for 2022. I'll show you the formula for that. So first thing first is the slicer. So for slicer, we will use over here the slicer, and from the order calendar we will choose the year, right. Now this is coming like this. We need tile, so we will go here in the format your visual. Under slicer setting, you will choose the tile, right. We will move this up and towards little bit left. This much is fine. You can then move this up, right, and slicer setting, values, under values you have border, this border, so we want a very light border, so we will choose this. So now the focus is on the button but not on that border, right. So it's a small formatting tips and tricks, but goes in a long way of how your dashboard looks. We want people to focus on these but not on the tiles and all. Now the showing sales for 2022, if you select this, what it has is nothing but the KPI card and the showing sales text. So this is a sales text based on the selection. So let's say if you want to show the selection, what are all the selection that is being made, then it's very easy. We are saying the show sales text for concatenate the text value using the concatenate function. First we are saying showing sales for, which is this, and then the selected year. Selected year is based on this, and selected year is also a formula. So where is selected year? Here is selected year. So selected year is nothing but order date dot year, that means date dot year, but within the function of selected value. Selected value basically gives you the information about whatever you have selected, right. So how you can create it? Well, let me show you again one more time. You have this new measure, right, and we will say selected year 2, right, and I will have selected value. There I've used the integer just so that if a text is coming, then it will convert it into an integer. That's the only use of it. And we will say orders underscore calendar date dot year. That was the one, right? And selected year sales is the new formula that we are going to create. So over here, if you see, we can say selected year sales 2, and under the concatenate we'll say showing sales for comma selected year 2, right, and done. So now what I'll do is I will choose this and say show selected here, and as soon as I select 2022, it will start showing that information. And if you see over here, the chart is also changed. So we can go ahead now and reduce this. Move it up, right? And do the little bit of formatting just so that it looks fine. Okay, so for that, this is selected. We are coming over here, category value. We are making it 18, maybe not 18, then 15. And DIN, we can keep the DIN or whatever is. I think this is the one which is used across the board. So this is one. We don't want to show category label. And the color also, I don't want to keep it very black. If you see, I just want to keep it so that user is able to just see this information, but it doesn't add a lot of value. It's just there for a good look and feel. And then what we can do is we can further format it from the perspective of look and feel by going into format, general, effects. Let's uncheck the border, but in the visual border, we will just make sure that it is very thin, and we have 25 rounded corners, and then we can, yeah, that much is fine. So I'll just come over here in the effects. If there is nothing, and I want to show the shadow, and shadow, I want to show it inside, right, center, and then little bit lighter, not like this much dark, right, little bit more dark. So this is again my preference. Your preference can be a little bit different, but I'm just showing you all the different properties by which you can create a good look and feel for your dashboard. Yep, this much is fine. If you see, the effect is coming. So also what I don't like over here is in the shadow is this color which is like too dark. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we can create a component like this very easily. Earlier, I think within Tableau you have to go to PowerPoint or somewhere else to create a component like this, but here it becomes quite easy. Okay, so we have done this. Now we will move on to creating what? This button, sales by region and sales by state. Again, similar type of setting. There is nothing very interesting which is going on, but we have the component, and I will do it one more time. We will say so that you know how we can do it. Sales by state, and the formatting, I'm just giving a space for a good dramatic look and feel. Sales by state. In the center, we can keep the size maybe 14, right? And then similarly, effects, visual border, we want the visual border. Color, we want it very light. We want a shadow. We want it inside first of all. So it's inside and center, and there you go. The only thing which you don't have is the rounded edges, right? So you select it again in the effects, visual border, rounded corner 25, and then you get the rounded corner as well, right? The only thing is this color, which we can change it with the help of our color. Sales by state, and I will make it bold because it is very light. Okay, so you can see this button you have created. This one is little different. This is giving you a good look and feel of a button, which I have created it over here. So we have sales by region, not state. So I will say it sales by region. Okay, so we have sales by region, and then we can copy and paste and creating it. So I'm not creating it again and again because now you have got the idea. You can do all of this multiple times as a practice, right? Okay, sales by region. Now sales by region, if you see, what do we have is basically these this component and then the YOY and then the area chart. So looks like the one good component, but these are three components, first, two and three. So we will create these three components. First, let's create this actual sales value for each of the region. So for that, what I choose is this multi-row. In the orders, I have the region. So the region is present over here. You have got the region. We have the sales. So we will get the sales. Sales have come, right? Now what do we need to do is a bit of formatting. All right. So over here, come on. Yes. Yeah, as much as okay, and let's go in alignment with this. Perfect. Let's move this also here. Now let's go to the format your visual. We don't want category labels, so it's gone now. We can move this up further, maybe here, and then in the cards, this is the accent, this one, right? So we don't need this, so let's remove that. It's gone. We just have to format this central and all. So we have the category values. So values are black, right? We can make it little bit less black. If you see over here, we have anyway removed it, and within the card, this text value, let's make it little bit lighter. Okay, so that way focus is on the value and not on here. Now we have cards, call out values, everything is fine. The best one of the another option is you have the conditional formatting. So in case if you want to apply some sort of formatting of based on some conditions, you can still do that. Okay, so we have semi bold. I can make it semi bold just so that it looks good, right? So this is one. And then once we have done that, what do we need is the sales YOY. So this is a formula that I've already created, but I will create it one more time for you. So what I'll do is I'll select the sales, which is already a field, right? Here the three buttons are here. So click over there and click on the new quick measure or new measure. Where is that? Since probably I have already created it, that's why it is not allowing me to create one more time. Just let me try one more time. So this is a measure which I created it, which is nothing but creating the YOY value for me. If I click on the new measure, it will basically tell me to create a measure, which is okay, but I wanted to show you that and what I can do is in the view, I can, let me just, okay, here is a quick measure. I was looking for this. So this is a new measure. This is the one which I basically did year over year based on that. So I want to select sales, right? So the configuration is once you are basically doing here, you will find the new quick measure. I am not able to get it because I have already used that feature. So what it will give you a screen like this. When you click on that, you need to select the year over year change as first setting, and then it will ask you based on what? Based on sum of sales, right? So that, because I have already used it, that's why not giving me, but ideally it should have given me. Probably it's like I have not closed maybe my Power BI from couple of days, that's why it is doing that, but ideally it should be able to give me one more time. And then sum of sales based on date is nothing but the calendar. This in order calendar we have the date, so we need to use that date, and then number of period is one, that go 1 year back. And if I select, let's say profit, does it give me over there? No. So looks like it is basically, maybe I have not or this one is probably already present, that's why it is not giving, which is a little weird as to why it is doing that. But anyways, I wanted to show you how you need to basically configure this particular portion, right? So year over year change is what you will choose from calculation, which is here. And then sum of sales is nothing but you will choose the sales, because you will right click and create it over there. So it will already pick this, and then you have the date, which is nothing but from the order calendar, and then the period you want to go back is 1 period. So once you have that, then what you need is this table, where you will first bring the region, right? Region, and you will bring the region, and you will bring the sales YOY. So we have this option. Also we have another option where we can use again the multi-row card. If you see, same type of things, but now we just need this YOY value. So for that I can format the visual. We don't want labels, and in the card we don't want this, so I will just choose the white color. So everything is gone, and finally we are left with this, and I will hide the accent bars. So got the idea how easy it is that we have created another component which is giving us what we need. Okay, so now we have YOY. After YOY, what do we need is, let me just hide this and hide this. What do we need is basically this interesting area chart, which is appearing 4 times, right? So I'll show you how you can do this very easily, which is nothing but it's like rows, addition of rows using one functionality. So what I'll do is, I will, in the quick visualization, I will choose the area chart, and in the area chart what I will do is, we have the date hierarchy. In this I will remove this, I will keep it only quarterly one, and in that I will choose sales, right? And I will go down into the hierarchy. So here is the hierarchy, and then in this hierarchy what do I need is the small multiples based on what region, right? Central, east, south, west. Now you can see how easy it is to create it. Just add region onto the small multiples and 4 regional charts are ready. But we need one top of one below the another. So we'll go into the format visual, in the not grid line but small multiples. We need 4 rows and 1 column. So we got that, right? So this is done. In the x-axis we don't need x-axis. In the y-axis we don't need y-axis and y-axis title. We also don't need this title, so we'll go into the general and we don't need this title. Also these areas we will make sure that shaded area is not any transparent, and colors is nothing but this color. Makes sense, right? This much is fine. Okay, perfect. So that way if somebody wants, they can look at it and get the desired behavior. Also if you want to explicitly show the x-axis, so if I enable that, so x-axis values, for some reasons it is not allowing me, which is fine. If you want to show that, I know we have hide it. Yeah, there you go. We have to at least keep it this much. Yeah, so because of the size it was not showing us. Also these lines, right, these are unnecessarily attracting the attention. So we'll go over here in the lines. Let's see what are the lines, and the color is like, no, this is not the line, but I guess this is a grid line, or within these small multiples border. Yeah, I think this is a border, and let's make it light. Yep, this is the one. See, so we have little bit lighter border, and I'll just make it one more shade. Okay, so that way it is not catching the attention. However, it is there just so that it is a separator is present. So now we have created this chart. Once you have created this chart, are these charts are now easy? That means this, after creating this one, this chart is now easy, right? Because what you need to do is, rather than the region, you have to create it for segment. Segment is present where? Segment is present here. Segment by sales and YOY, and then you have this value. So we'll see this, but I'm just telling you that now it becomes really easy. Next is sales by state. So the title we have already seen how we can create it, so I will not spend a lot of time to do it again. But rather than that, we will just choose this map chart, and in the map we will going to have the state, right? And if this state is not coming like this, then what do you need to do? Like globe icon is not coming, then what do you need to do is you need to go into this table view, select whatever the location field like city, right? And just make sure data category is set to the respective values, city, city. Otherwise the globe icon will not come. For state province, I have given you the state province, right? Similarly for postal code, if this is uncategorized right now, but we can give it a postal code, and you will see the postal code is now having the globe icon. Okay, so once we have done that, so this is a one map, but in the filters, what I will do is I will choose the country region, and sorry, press undo, country region over here, and I will only choose United States because I want to show only United States. Or I don't want this to impact it, but I want entire dashboard to get impacted. Then what I'll do is filter on this page. I will choose rather this, so that it is consistent across. I will choose only United States. Okay, so now we have the page level filter, which is impacting all the visualization. Now we have this. Now in this, what can we do is, in the visualization, over here, bubbles, color, I will choose the same color, which is this. And the size for size, we have not taken anything, bubble size, right? So bubble size will be based on the sales. So now you've got it, right? So this is the bubble size. Now once we have done the bubble size, we don't need this title. After that, here in general, remove the title, correct? Now what do we need to show is the over here, if you see in the page 1, what do we have is the state, this city, the state, top 5 or top 4 state, right? So what do we need is basically a pivot structure. In the pivot structure, what do I need is the state, and state I need on columns, and then sales I need it over here, right? And then what do I need is basically what we need is, can we get this over here? No, I think this is where it will not give us value. So what do we need is sales have come over here, filters, in filters, sum of sales, not sum of sales, sorry, state province, top n, so top 4 by sales, and apply. So you get top 4 or top 5, whatever you want, you can get it. I've shown you the configuration, you can easily do it now. And now we just format it, make sure we remove the total. So we'll come over here, and we have row brand total, sorry, subtotal. Let's just remove everything, right? Once we have done that, what we can do is we can bring it over here. Make sense? And if you want, then the only thing we need to just do is bit of a formatting. As you see, it will be a bit tricky as to how much space or width you really need to give over here. Okay, so now we do a bit of a formatting. Over here, column headers, let's make it center aligned, right? And values, we have a specific column. Sum of sales is also, let's do it center aligned. We don't need decimal value, so let's zero it out. We don't need this border, so we have grid, border, color, let's choose this one, just a very lighter one. So we have this. Now the only thing is we need YOY as well. So one of the two things we can do, the one thing which I have done over here in the page 1 is bit tricky, and it's like 11.28, 30.7 and 29.10%. That means below to that. For that I will then have to create one more pivot table and hide the headers. That is one way what I have done it over there. Let me try one more thing over here which can be relatively easy, which is sales YOY over here. So if you see, this has created this sum of sales and sales YOY, and we can say over here by double clicking it sales and YOY, right? I think this is a way much better compared to what do we have over there, because I like that they are side by side. Okay, so I think the style, we can have default, we can have none. I'm just trying to see if there is a way where we can lock aspect ratio. If I enable that, nope. So positioning is something which I'm trying to figure it out. But if you want, we can basically have this state province, right? I'll try with one more thing which I created, the dummy value, which is blank. Let me just try to have it over here. No, it will not allow me. Okay, if it will not allow me, now another thing which I can do is I can just add couple of rather than saying top 4, maybe I can say top 5. Apply, and that way it will pick up the space. Maybe it has one more, so what I'll do is top 6 and apply filter. So that way I have my top 6 basically filtered, but top 5 I think makes more sense. So this is again based on the business need that we are having, not based on what we think. So this to me looks like way much better. The only thing is we can make it centrally aligned so that it is in the center of this visualization, right? And then here we can if you want, we can give some information. Also over here, if you see, we have to align this as well to this particular, and this one is also, and even this one is also, so that every visualization is aligned. We don't need the central east west, right? So what do we do is we come over here in visualization, and over here in the grid lines we have the, sorry, not the grid lines but the small multiples. We have vertical, series labels. If I try to remember, where did I do that? Values. Okay, because central, east, west and south is already present over there, so we actually don't need it like we are having here in the page 1. So let me try to recollect how did I basically hide this. Okay, so in formatting small multiples, we have this titles, we don't need this, so we will hide it like this. So that's where it was hidden. Okay, so once we have done that, the only thing is these values are not in consistency, right? So the way we need to do that is, what I did is I created a very dummy measure blank, by clicking on new measure blank, and blank equals to just two double quotation. So what I can do is I can come here in fields in blank and I can give it over here. So if you see, it has now created this extra space for me. Same way over here I can come and add a blank. So this is a small trick just so that we can create some extra space. Now for extra space we need to increase the page size. So I'll just click somewhere outside in the page, canvas background, not the background but the settings. From 16:9 I will choose custom, and here I will choose 1300. Okay, so as soon as I choose 1300 I get more space, and as I get more space I can then increase this, increase this, and increase this. So it has started appearing again, these titles. So what I'll do is in the cards, I don't know why it has starting appearing, but in the cards, style, call out values. Okay, it's central. Let me try that. Call out values are this, because this is what it is. If I choose this one, this will become lighter, and we don't want that. So these are call out values within the card. The title is now hidden for some reason, which I think has it's mainly because of this blank. So one of the things that we need to do in this case is then that first let me just try removing it this, and in the cards now the title is coming, which is white. If I go back and if I go to my page 1, let me just quickly see. It must have not appeared for this one, right? Because I'm using region and YOY directly. I'm not using blank over there. So probably I've just done some setting over there to and over here. Okay. So I have squeezed it. I have not created an extra space, but I have squeezed it. I think that is a much better also. So what I'll do is I will do the same thing. I'll just remove this blank, and the way we can squeeze this is based on the values over here. We squeeze this up. I think this must have the case, otherwise the error that we were getting is problematic. So now everything is in alignment, if you see, with this dashboard, right? So one more thing which I will do is I will just reduce it, this one, and I will increase this so that it is properly allocated, right? Okay, so let's just make sure you keep saving your work, because I lost it once. I created the entire dashboard and I lost it. Okay, so we have this. Then down below we need to create this heat map over here. Heat map, right? This is also very tricky. I'll show you how we can create it. Sales trend by subcategory and the heat map, or sales heat map also you can say. So now you can create this button. Let me just go ahead and start creating the heat map for you. Okay, so for creation of heat map, what do we need is this pivot table. In the pivot table, what we will do is we will put it like this. Okay, give some space over here, and then what do we do is we get the subcategory over here. We will going to get the sales, and then in the column what do we do is we get the year and month, and we go down to expand all hierarchy, and then in formatting we hide the column total and row total, right? So finally what we have got is this big table. Now we have to reduce it so that we can squeeze these values and make it more like a heat map. So specific column, sum of sales, display unit, let's just make it in millions, because anyway now it has reduced, right? So we can further reduce its size, and we don't need the decimal also, so we will make it 0, so it is further reduced, if you see. Yeah, so now we have more space for another visual. Now everything is coming 0 0, right? So for that, what do? We basically need here sum of sales, we need conditional formatting, and we need, let's say, background color over here, and sum of sales, the lowest value, more colors, and if you remember the color which I told you, let me see, even I don't remember that, this one, right? So I'll copy this and come back here for this visual, and in this visual I will just conditional formatting, background color, in the background color, more color, paste this, and I will move it towards this side, okay, and then more colors, I'll paste this, yeah, and click OK. So this is the first effect we have got. Now we have this second effect where we have to remove these values, right? And this is a tricky thing. You can go and try with the lot of, like, for example, in the specific column, the sum of sales is coming, right? But sum of sales is not coming with any FX value. Like, it is asking me the text color, but it is not allowing me to format it the way I want, right? So over here, conditional formatting, I can try with the font color if you would like. So this one, Control V, if you remember, probably that's the one, and more color, Control V, now click OK, and it's gone. Right? So that's a very easy and interesting way of doing that, applying the conditional formatting twice. Now I'm just removing this grid. So this grid over here, vertical border, yes, in the border, I just need a very light one. Yeah, so that should be it. So you get your heat map over here. Now the only thing what you need is the sales bar, or maybe over here. So this is sales heat map, and this is like a total sales value. So in page 3, what can we do is we can come down below over here, right, and choose this, and then go down below subcategory sales, and then not this, but this. Okay, bring this down, and then over here, visual, y-axis, we don't need title, we don't need values, we don't need title, y-axis, values, title, gone, over here, title, gone, right? Finally what do we get is value like this, and again going into the visuals, bars, layout, and I'm just trying that within the bars the apply to all. Yeah, that's what we need. Space between categories 5. No, I think what we need is more. 20, 25 is fine, and I'll increase this. Same way I will increase this as well. Okay, so here we get our chart, which we can then only thing is this bar value, the color. So bars over here, this color, and let's enable the data labels as well, right? Okay, now what do we need is, finally, if you remember this chart, I told you can very easily create it since you have created this one, but let me show you how you can create this one. I'll just replicate this. So what do we need is this, Control C, down below over here, Control V, let's bring it down. Okay, we don't need sum of sales, we need YOY, right? Okay, and what do we need? We need to increase the canvas. So I'm selecting over here, going into the canvas settings, and let's make it what? 1400. Okay, so now we get some more space. We can do this piece easily. We can bring it down for space for button over here, and then we can create this chart. Control C, Control V, bring this down. Rather than subcategory, I think, what is this? Segment, right? If I go to the page 1, yeah, consumer, so it is customer segment. Okay, so this is more of a customer analysis type matrix. So over here, first thing first, let's replace it with segment. Okay, and then this again segment, so it's gone, right? Okay, so I just need to make sure that I bring this down to the same level. Now here I feel like I need some space. I can do like this as well, you see, and I can move it really close over here. And I don't think I have anything over here where I can, in the call out values, nope. Category labels, there is nothing. In the cards, we have this, we don't have anything like spacing. We can squeeze it, but padding is maximum that is allowed is 20. We cannot make it like 40, right? Nope. So the only way we can do that is using this blank, if you remember, right? The only drawback is the color will be problematic. And then we have to create the size, we have to give a size as. So here, then using this cards, padding, yeah, so that way it can work. One of the things with Power BI is that it just keep doing all of these selections. Okay, all right, over here, padding, it's gone. 10. Yeah, I think 10 is what it needs. And then accordingly we can move this up and it should work as per our expectation. Okay, so now we have this. What do we need next is another chart like this. And I can move till over here and align with this. And what do we need is the customer name. So what we are finding is the top customer. So rather than segment, what do we need is the customer name. Ooh, not the legend, but over here, right? But we need to show the customer name. So on the y-axis, we need values. Values are coming. In the filters, we need top 10 customers. So customer name, from here top n, how many we want? Top 10 we want. And then it will be based on field sales. You can have sales, you can have profit, whatever you want, you can get it. And then you can add the button over here, top 10 sales, right? So as you can see, now we are done with our visualization in almost like 1 hour, where we have created this dashboard. The only thing I have left for you is this creation of button, which I showed you about how you can create it. So let me know, how do you like this video? If you have really enjoyed and if you want me to create more videos like this, please comment and let me know your preference, right? So thank you so much, and I will meet you in the new video with some new dashboard.